All right. Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh,
Power,
Bahashem,
Shem Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
Brother
Bahashem,
Yahshua Baraka.
Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you walking out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And it's the brother Kwara Abad and the Elder Taza, and as well as the Elder Taza Power from the Great Millstone Houston camp,
Uh-huh.
and the Wadi How Bashim Al Shah for blessing us with another opportunity to come forth and bring forth this news, which again a lot is happening, whether it's on mainstream media or behind the scenes, and that's why it's important to pay attention to the prophets in these latter days, because that's gonna be the men who gonna give you your answers, man. And now what everybody's starting to say as far as the CV jab, everybody coming out with the effects of the juice. But the prophet said that when that first came. Now everybody's seeing that Trump, he wasn't in office for, or Republicans and MAGA supporters. They see, damn, Trump wasn't in office for us. He lied to us. All this was to set up a digital system. Everything the prophets have been saying is speaking in this time, as it's saying Habakkuk 2. But now everybody else starting to jump on that bandwagon. Why? Because you can't say nothing else. It's clear the times we in. It's clear the times we in, and everything that have happened. Shoot, really from 2020 when CV19, and especially when Trump came into office, all that was for the purpose of end time prophecy, man. And we'll touch on that a little bit in this lesson. You know, as you see in the title, it says it's all a part of the plan, right? Thursday Live is all a part of the plan, a digital system. And as we're gonna go into this, the many things we've seen as far as Fed now, and the different shootings and lockdowns and all these different things gonna lead us into a digital system. They giving themselves an excuse to go ahead and mandate everything they want to do, and that's what we seeing, man. But before we hop into it, Tazapah, you got anything?
Right, and that's called the Hegelian dialectic. All right, so problem, reaction, solution. They're creating the problem to get the desired reaction because they already have an existing solution ready for y'all. All right, and it's all going to culminate into the MOTB, which is prophesied in Revelation, the 13th chapter. But it's good to be back another Thursday with all, the brethren, the Akyam and the Akhwa. All right, good to be back and building with y'all. So I'm going to kick it off with the house precept. This is Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. That devil, if you didn't know, is none other than Esau, Edom, all right, or mortal enemies, all right. He ain't changed his spots. He can't, all right. We all sent here to play out a, particular role in the Most High's in his drama, all right. This drama is unfolding into Jacob's trouble, and it's gonna get gruesome. All right. The drama's getting ready to turn into a horror. All right. Something worse than Nightmare on Elm Street, Exorcist. It's gonna be worse than anything you didn't see on screen. All right. This is what's coming. And as brothers have been saying, all right, it's our job to put the fear of the most high in y'all. All right. So yeah, I'm not here to sugarcoat nothing. It's finna get horrible out here. All right. And I'll bring this out, and then you got it, brother. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 5. 1 second. Here we go. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. All right. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. Knowing therefore the terror of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we persuade men. but we are made manifest unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and our trust also are made manifest in your consciences. All right. So, right, these other camps, what are they talking about? Saving the Gentiles. Uh, the chip ain't the MOTB, but don't take it anyway. You know, backtracking, trying to cover their tracks. And as the brother just said, the real men of the Lord gonna have real, tangible, all right, answers. Things that you can build with. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. You got it out.
That's it. And like you were saying, that count the burden of proof, and that's been on my, on my mind since you said it. Because Habakkuk 2 say that in the end, the Lord gonna speak. We said, at the end it shall speak and shall not lie.
It shall not lie. There you go.
So whatever the prophet's saying, in the end, we in the end of the world, right? At the end of the world. So whatever the prophet's saying, we should be able to look out into the world and have proof, tangible proof of that. Seeing is happening, like it's going, like, look, this is what's happening. Because the Lord said we're gonna have proof, it's gonna be happening, it's gonna be speaking.
That's it.
That's how you know who your prophets are. Because what they saying is actually happening.
And that's important because you need to know, especially where we at in Jacob's trouble, you need to know who your leaders are. All right. Because the Most High did set up these false prophets. He set them up. That's Jeremiah 6:21. All right. So yeah, that's important to know who the Most High is dealing with. But you got it out.
So we'll hop into a couple of them. We're gonna play this video here in the end. And Shalom to all Akim Akwath that's tuning in. Y'all Bashim Shah Barak Thumb. We're gonna play this video here later on in the lesson. But we got a few quick articles we'll kind of run through here in a few. Now I just wanted to highlight this. This came out yesterday, December 17th, from naturalnews.com. It says Israeli army chief warns of dangerous manpower crisis as resignations and suicides surge. And I just thought that was interesting. Not that we got to go into it, but my first thing is these small hats, they crying that they don't have enough manpower. And the first thought was, so will they call on Americans now, or America now to send some manpower? Could this be an event that can be blown out of proportion? But again, they crying out, and usually when the small hats cry out, guess who come to save them? America, whatever they need. So now they're crying out for manpower. Is this a way for American troops, more of them, if anything, but American troops to be sent to help Israel even more? So we ain't got to, go into. I don't know if you want to kind of, speak on it a little bit, but I just kind of want to mention.
Yeah, no, I just heard about that, but yeah,
I just read a little.
Let me speak on it.
I read the little headers and we'll move on. It says the Israeli military faces a severe internal crisis with plummeting recruitment and morale. Hundreds of permanent service members are resigning, creating critical manpower shortages. A mental health epidemic has led to dozens of soldiers suicide, that word, and thousands seeking treatment. And again, this show you this not the real people, and they probably feel bad for what they're doing to the Palestinians because they know it ain't right. But again, just so this is something to keep an eye on. Will Israel call for America for help? And if so, that can be a another fast track to World War III.
And it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it coming, and that's part of the prophecy because that's just right there. Well, that's where the third wolf is going to take place in the Levant. But yeah, that was it. You got it.
Now these next few articles, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got about 5, 6 of them, right? Articles to touch on is going to lead us into this very video right here, and that goes into the title. Thursday Live is all a part of the plan. Esau need chaos. He need people in fear. He need people to use AI more, right? He need people to get involved in the system. He need people to lose jobs. He need people to be at their wits' end. You know why? Because he want to come with that solution. He want to come with the solution. Now watch the build, through the spirit, watch the build up. You're gonna see. And it's not just in this lesson, but look at all the things that's been set in place. And this is where we benefit as, or should I say, this is where we benefit by being around the real men of the Lord, the prophets. Because you have other camps like the IUICs, Chief Ephraim and his group, the servants, all these different groups, they focus on debate and they focus on drama. They focus on being the next, top man in Israel and knowing precepts and all this, but they not really warning their people and they followers and holding their followers' hands, so to speak, and showing them how the prophecies will play out. These other camps, they just waiting on a big event to happen, and then they speak on the event as it's happening. Or they just wait on something to look like the prophecy is fulfilling, and then they speak on it. Great Millstone is different. We telling you before, like we showing you the steps, the foundation that's going to lead to the actual event or actual prophecy being fulfilled. So once it's happening, you gonna know what time it is. Not like the other people being caught off guard, like, oh shit, what's going on? And now your leader trying to do a lesson on it. Like Bishop Nate said. So like
exactly.
You said something before?
Exactly. No, that's why 2026 is the year of apostasy, sellouts, and agents, or agents and sellouts. All right. However you want to put it. But just for that, what you just said, all these charlatans and these hypocrites, they're going to jump on the bandwagon as things begin to unfold more and more. All right. But yeah, go ahead, brother. I didn't want to cut you off.
Now you good, like Bishop Nate said about Jacob's trouble. And he was like, no, Jacob's trouble gonna happen. And he said, what I said, morons, was at the time nothing was happening, so I ain't say nothing. What you mean at the time nothing was happening? That's why you ain't say nothing. The prophets don't wait till it's time to say nothing. They said before it's happening. What you talking about?
Exactly.
At the time nothing was happening, that's why I ain't say nothing. So, but now it's happening, so I'm gonna speak on it. That's not a prophet then.
You're right.
But I will just highlight this too. But again, all these things is all a part of the plan leading to a digital system. For example, end time headlines. Shooting reported, this happened a couple days ago, about a week ago. Shooting reported at Providence campus, 2 dead, multiple injured. Shooter still at large. Remember last week we spoke on how the Trump administration say get ready for attacks, T-era attacks, right? Get ready for that. We're going to start seeing more events like that. And that's going to cause Esau to bring more laws for the digital system. Remember, before a digital system will come, he got to get rid of this old way of doing things, the dollar, the Constitution.
And they're crashing it.
And crashing.
They're letting it erode. I'm talking about everything, people's morals, the money system. They're letting everything corrode. All right. That's why they was letting the YNs wild out during the pandemic. As the brother is saying, he's absolutely right. What's happening is they need to make everything look like we need something else. All right. We need something better.
Right.
And so they're not doing nothing to fix nothing. All right. They're not doing anything to fix anything. All right. They barely even fixing infrastructure, roads and stuff. But right, they want to usher everyone into this new era. This is where everything is going. But go ahead.
That's it. It says, I'm gonna get a quick one real quick. This second Esdras 15, I'll get on my phone. The second Esdras 15, again, is all a part of the plan. Hard times gotta come for the digital system to come. Hard times gotta come for this old system to fall. That's gonna be Esau green light an excuse to say, here's a solution. Real quick, second Esdras 15, one of my favorites, and verse 14 in the GNT. It says, the world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. That's World War 3. It says, and nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. We seeing that, right? It says, and there will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. And we've been talking about that for the past couple of weeks, not just us here, but I know the elder Ariala, the elder Required Kwame out there in the UK. They going to it. How all these nations at the end of the day, they racing to see who gonna be the leader of the new digital world. Because they saying,
Right.
America, you play it out. You was the leader of this world. Now we going digital, we can compete. We got missiles, you got missiles, right? You got chips, we got chips. You know, you got AI, we got AI. We can rule too. That's how they feeling. But in them racing to see who gonna be the leader of this new digital world, they gonna say F the old laws, F the old constitution, the way we was doing things. I don't care about no treaties and all that no more. And that's what the scripture's about to say. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 16 in the GNT. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while, so as they're trying to gain control, it says while, which means at the same time they're trying to gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. They gonna ignore what's already set in place. They don't count no more. And we're gonna play in this video, they gonna say that the time that America's digital system started was the day that Trump signed his name and the ink dried and he was the president. And Doge came up in that Elon Musk and the technocrats, that's when it started. And it's been on a fast.
That's when it accelerated.
Accelerated, Salaki. Right. That's what I accelerated.
Even as you said on the video, it go back to at least, he mentioned the 70s, you know, but yeah, this been always that. I don't know if this was last week, but I mentioned, you know, the SS Nazis, Nazi Germany in 33, you know, they was dealing with the tabulation system with IBM to keep tabs on the Holocaust victims, which were not all Jews. If any, it was a small percentage of Jews. People were being tortured, but it was maybe a handful of Jews. All right, and then they got small hat testimony, say they was watching plays, they was allowed to play piano, they ate good, you know. This is from small hats. So yeah. But anyway, you had something else because I want to go back to what. Oh, go ahead.
I had a little more.
Go ahead.
Because it's gonna go into the next few things about why hard times coming. But it says, while ignoring the 2 Ezra 15 and 17, while ignoring the legitimate government, there will no longer be free access to the cities, because the struggle for power will bring. So the struggle for the leader of the new digital world will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live, driven by famine and terrible suffering, and people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. So all this buildup we're gonna see that's gonna lead to the digital system, it gotta be chaos in the world, especially here in America. What you got to advertise upon?
No, that's how Esau rolled. All right. That's the whole symbol behind it. You should know a little something about symbols, especially when dealing with Esau, the eagle, the what is that? The phoenix. All right, that rises from the ashes. It's rising from the ashes of chaos. What happens in chaos? People burn shit down. You know? So, and that's one of their prevalent symbols, is the symbol of the phoenix rising. So you're right. You're absolutely right. But I want to go back on what you said about Nate. Right. That's useless as a prophet. All right, to talk about, well, now it's happening. So now I'm going to speak on it. All right, this is Ezekiel 13 and 4. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. So you know that old saying, the horse already left the barn. Mm-hmm. So if you don't go in the gaps, that means there's a breach. And any and everybody can come in. So you can't go in the gaps after it's been breached. It's just like, what's the point of speaking about a prophecy that now I can see it? I'm looking at it now. It'd have been nice if you'd have told me where I could have prepared. This is what Great Millstone offered Jake. Time to take advantage of the grace. All right. Which, brothers have, but we putting it out there for others also. Take advantage of this grace. This is why we tell you before. So you have time to come in and get your bumps and bruises, your scrapes and falls out the way, and prepare yourself and get into perfection. All right. So now if we waiting to just like if the Lord cracked the clouds and then we gonna set up camp to tell you, all right, y'all, the Lord has cracked the clouds. You're gonna be saying, man, get your stupid ass out my face. Captain Obvious. You know? Right. We we weren't set up to be Captain Obviouses. And this is why people really don't one of the reasons why people really don't appreciate Great Millstone, because we tell you things before they come to pass. You have time to call us crazy. You have time to mock and scoff because we're telling you way in advance. But if you was wise, you would take advantage of the grace that this gospel has laid before you. You know? But right, yeah, we supposed to be in the gaps already. Not when it's the army is approaching or they at the door, then we gonna go in the gaps. No, they at the door because they saw the breach. If you stand in the gaps, they probably won't even come because they say, oh shit, they well guarded right there. Just spiritually speaking. But right, that's a prophet's job. We supposed to be in the gaps. All right. Making up the hedge. So I just wanted to speak on that, man. That's useless. That's salt with no savor. That's being salt with no savor. It's just a crystal. I don't eat crystals unless it's a flavorful crystal. Salt is a flavorful crystal. Did you know that? It's a flavorful crystal, and your body need that. We need that crystals. All right. But yeah, you got it out. Salt with no savor. That's these clowns, man.
Right.
But go ahead, brother.
That is it. So we'll hit this one real quick and we'll get to the video in a few. It says End Time Headlines put out 2 days ago. Again, all of this is a part of the plan. Unemployed Americans are applying for hundreds of jobs with no success as unemployment rate surges to 4-year high. Why? Why though? Well, that's in Isaiah 19. If my brother want to post it, Isaiah 19, how it's gonna be no work for Egypt. And the law was specifically talking about this Egypt, Revelation 11 and 8, the spiritual Egypt, which is America. But we seeing that. And again, AI is taking over people's jobs. I've seen Disney just struck a deal with AI. I guess with they writers, or whatever, but to make movies. So now Disney don't even need human writers no more. They could just AI it. They don't need special effect people no more. They could just AI it now.
That's why Time Magazine named AI 2025 Person of the Year. All right. Yeah, they're going to replace everything. And humans are building the infrastructure for it to take over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy part. But you got it, brother.
Can I get it real quick? This Isaiah 19. Isaiah 19 and verse, I'll start at 14. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and have caused Egypt, which is the spiritual Egypt, America, and caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Verse 15 is the point. And neither, so in America, and neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So look, work is about to stop for everybody. It's from the tail down
Everybody.
to the janitor on down to the head, the CEO. You know why? Because he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. See that, Ephraim, everybody doing it. You ain't
Oh,
watching.
yeah, you're right, brother. You're right. And like I was saying about preparedness, and we reported on this. Yeah, them CEOs, they've been preparing for this. That's why they got all that boar's head up
Yeah.
underground. They're gonna be eating cold cuts, caviar and champagne, and let all you people suffer who didn't want to take heed to the word of the Lord, like you didn't want to take heed to Yahweh's word when he said, when you see the abomination of desolation, desolation standing in the place where it shouldn't, to flee into the hills, into the mountains. All right. The Lord always give warning to his people.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have ears to hear? But that was it.
Kind of. I just highlight this one real quick, and then we can get into America falling its digital system. But this end time headlines was also put out. So at the time, people not working and people struggling, it may be another CV19 type event that's coming. They may do this. Remember, we coming into 2026. Things about to accelerate, man. A lot. One of my other favorite ones, it says the plagues go come as a woman in travail. When contractions come, yeah, they be spaced out at first, but then eventually they be back to back and more painful. We should eventually start seeing hard times, events, deaths, mass, shootings.
Yeah, I was looking for
back.
that number. You saw that post. Like I think it was 464 mass shootings.
Yeah. I just seen it. Other Yashawama posted, I think.
Yeah, the elder Yashawama posted it. You remember that number?
Yeah, I'm about to get it right now. It was
okay, cool.
It was 464.
464.
464 mass shootings that took place in 2025 in
That's
America.
in America, brother. That's just in America. Damn. But going to what you're saying, that's why I brought it up. It was a time you wouldn't hear no mass shootings. Then there might have been one a year, one or two, couple of years. In 2025, 464. Man, yeah, bro, we in that time. But that was it. I just wanted to bring that out.
Now that's it. I just read this real quick. So again, another CV19 may come. So as people ain't got no job, and see, this all a part of, go to the title. It's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of it. As people don't have no jobs, right? People getting fired on their day off for selling boxes. You might have another sicknesses that come, and now they gonna say stay in the house. So now you ain't got no job, you stressing, and you in the house. What they open the door to? UBI, Universal Basic Income. We'll pay you to stay in the house. We will pay you to just shut up, and we go regulate you on the internet too. Mm-hmm. This is what we going. So it says what's being called a super flu is sweeping the U.S. as cases skyrocket in major cities, forcing school closures, and mask mandates to return.
Okay.
It says a new strain of influenza has begun spreading rapidly across major cities, prompting health officials and medical experts to raise alarms about a potentially severe flu season. And you know what? We in 2025. Remember, they said the people who took the juice, we should start seeing the effects of that in 4 to 6 years. Mm-hmm. So it's not just that it's y'all gotta get ready. We might have a bad flu season. No, it's the effects of the juice. People probably about to start dropping. It's already a lot of people dropping dead. I was watching Redacted earlier. You already having so many people that's been dropping dead from the juice. But now they saying that, and which has been known, but even if you ain't get the juice, you have sex with somebody who got it, you can get traces you can get it. mRNA in you, man.
Right.
You see? mRNA in you. But the point is that the sick people might be the people who took their jab, and it's just the effects of it. And this might spread. Who knows? Remember, the lawyer said that it was going to be epidemics in the end of the time, which means diseases, spreading fast.
Yep.
right? But right. So we gonna move on. You got anything on that, Tazapal?
No, you good.
Con. So now we can get into this, and this is a good one to go into before we hit on the digital system in this video. But this was put out 2 days ago. End time headlines. It says a 115-foot replica of the Statue of Liberty is toppled during a storm in Brazil, and some see it as a harbinger. Let's go into that word harbinger. It says harbinger, a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, an indicator, a signal, a omen, a warning, a forewarning, a precursor, right? So we know the Lord, and nothing happened without the Lord's approval. A leaf or a bird ain't gonna fall to the ground without the heavenly Father Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua say, do that. So this ain't no coincidence, you know? Like, the brother Yakana,
Right.
but I know, the brother Yakana, he used to always say, it ain't no such thing as an accident. When two cars hit each other, it ain't no such thing as, they got in an accident. No, that was meant to happen. So what we seeing right here is meant to happen. This is the Lord giving a foreshadow of what's going to happen to America. Now in Brazil, you had this replica of the Statue of Liberty. Everybody in the world know this, which is a man really. Everybody in the world know that the Statue of Liberty is an American symbolic for America. The good old U.S. of A. Well, Brazil had a replica of it and it fell over. We'll play the video here in a few. So what this mean? It's time for America to fall. And once America fall, the beast system is done. The heathen's done. The time of the Gentiles is over. And Yahweh Shah will come back. We're going to rule. We just happen to be seeing it happening in live time while it's going on. It says
Right.
a powerful. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says a powerful storm in Brazil recently sent a towering replica of the Statue of Liberty crashing to the ground, an event that quickly went viral and ignited widespread debate far beyond the site of the collapse. While officials described the incident as the result of severe weather and structural vulnerability, even that's spiritual. Right, America is being messed up structurally right now. The foundations are being shattered. Everything that America built itself on is being shown that it was all some BS. It wasn't real. It was deception, lies, and they can't stand no more. The truth in the world. It says many viewers around the world interpreted the dramatic imagery as some more than a freak accident. Again, as my beloved bro Yakana always say, it ain't no such thing as an accident. Seeing it instead of a symbolic omen of America's weakening influence and uncertain future. It's uncertain to the people, not uncertain to us. So let's go ahead and play it. Mm-hmm. So we can play it one more time. And that's the time when America about to fall.
Mm-hmm.
The clouds, it looked like a chariot was probably in the clouds. Probably just, angel just blew it down.
Yeah, what they had though? What
What'd you say?
happened at?
Brazil.
Okay, con.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was that around maybe 2018? Um, somewhere around there, give
What's
or
that?
take a few years. Wendy Williams dressed as the Statue of Liberty and she fell out.
Oh yeah.
So it's a reoccurring thing. This place is done.
Let me see if I can play it real quick. So like it, this computer slow. Bear with me. Okay.
How long ago was that video?
8 years ago.
8 years. So
Time
2017.
flying. Little King David ad. There you go.
That's it. Yeah. Just like America gonna fall. First, she was in derision. She couldn't gather herself. And then, bam, just like something struck her in the feet, she went straight down.
A quick fall.
Yeah, it was quick. But yeah, that's starting to be a recurring theme now. When the Most High take that real one down, you gonna know something.
Come. And we can
This
highlight like it.
you got something?
No, you
Yeah,
got it.
right quick. This is Isaiah chapter 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. All right, this is America. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. And this is a prophecy referring to America and these times that we are in right now. We're witnessing. This is another prophecy that's speaking. This place ain't tender and delicate no more. And people that have the means, they're deserting this place. All right. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out. The Most High is bringing this place down to the dust. And that statue that fell, it fell in the dust.
Yep, sure did.
Yeah, it was dusty out there.
Sure
But
did.
yeah, you got it out.
John, that's it. So we'll hop into this video. I'm gonna just highlight this because look at how they're trying to put it off to the people. This was put out a couple days ago. End time headlines: Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. And man, you know how so you know how already a couple months ago or a year ago, Jeff Bezos, they put it to the population as if him and Elon Musk was racing to see who can get to the, outer space and all that first, right? And do all that space mission and stuff.
Right.
And it made it seem as a race. And it seemed cool to the people. But we know it as Esau trying to really lead the world and try to do his thing in space. See, we see the other thing now, reading this article now, and again, they had to start that narrative, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, the two richest men battling for space and all this different stuff, right? Why though? Jeff Bezos, look at this new one. Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk compete in a new race to build AI data centers in space. Now, it seemed like the people, they at it again, huh? No, look at what it's saying. They building that. They setting up the infrastructure in your face. You being tracked and traced and put in prison and cuffs on you, and you don't even see it because it's recording you. It ain't the chains ain't got to be on you no more. They're recording you. They're looking at your every move. What's the point of chains if I can see what you're doing? They want to track and trace, put CHIPs in everybody so they can control you. And we're going to play this video because that's what they're going to go into, man. But they're going to put this out as another new race between Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. But we know what time it is. It says tech billionaires Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are once again locked in a high-stakes rivalry. See, that's how they push it off to the people. It's like WWE. We got to set the stage and a setting and a plot. You got to have a plot, the antagonist and this is all what we seeing. This WWE. It says, are added once again in a high-stakes rivalry, this time centered on a bold new frontier, building artificial intelligence data centers in space. And not just in space, look at how many data centers been going up as of late in America, in Texas for sure.
Damn. Yeah, it's like you saying, like, that's bread and circus. That's bread and circus. It's distraction. Because they ain't putting nothing in space. You can't get into that firmament.
Right.
That's why the space station is in the atmosphere. It ain't in space. If you could put a data center in space, why the space station ain't in space? Because it ain't in space. Because you're not getting in that firmament. All right. It was put there for a reason to separate the waters from the waters. All right. It's there for a reason. And if you could just penetrate it, how would it hold out the waters? It's there to be impenetrable. So I don't know what they're doing other than this just being pure distraction. But when just realizing, not just now, but here recently, thinking back to Star Trek, Space and the Final Frontier, and all of that. Well, the final frontier is cyberspace. This is the space where they trying to conquer and where they want to put everybody, where they want to rule as lords, all right, in the cyberspace. But as far as data centers in actual space, I don't know, what, I just have to wait, see what come out of that. I don't know what to make about that other than that's bullshit.
Yeah. But look, they're trying to put it off to the people as that. But the thing is, they give this is an excuse of taking technology to the next level. They just need to tell the public this is space racing. And let's go ahead and play this video because that's what they go into. Everything that you're seeing before you, and you think society is advancing in AI and is making it more convenient. No, that's getting you more into the system. And the people don't see it. They want you to talk to ChatGPT every day. They want you to be involved, and when you need an answer, you go to the AI and ChatGPT. Because then once they force you into it, you already go be programmed. You want to go ahead and play this vid real quick?
Oh, yeah, brother. You good. Come. I was waiting on you.
This another one real quick. Yeah. Elon Musk, we're going to read the whole thing. Elon Musk warns that money will disappear in the future as AI makes work and salaries irrelevant.
And I think what's his name saying that they coming out and saying it now. Warren Buffett, I think he came out and said the dollar as we know it is dead, something to that effect. But right, it's becoming just common knowledge now, all except for among Jake, that this dollar is done. But go ahead.
That's it. And like you mentioned, and we'll play the vid, architects. So they did name the person, the Time Person of the Year. Remember last week we said AI might be it before it came out, but it came out, and it's the architects of AI named Time Magazine's Person of the Year. So not just AI itself, but the people who built AI. They the people of the year.
Got you.
Not to say you was wrong, but that's just the add-on.
You got to get it right. You got to be precise.
But I'm about to play the vid. I'm gonna just play it, and let me know if you got a point. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna play this video. We can wind it down with this. Now, this is from Brighteon or naturalnews.com. Now, check this out. Remember, it's all a part of the plan. It's all a part of the plan. Now, what this video going into, this was put out yesterday. It says AI at the crossroads. It says centralized control versus decentralized resistance in the fight for humanity's future. And this video is good. It's in the description box. We're gonna go straight into the video. And this is what they're talking about. Globalist elites, big tech, and governments push AI-powered surveillance, CBDCs, and social credit systems under the guise of efficiency, erasing human autonomy and enforcing compliance. And there's much more, but we're going to play it. Let me know if you got some other Taza Pa.
In general, is not about any type of research or
come on, man.
I know very few people even.
All right, so we're just gonna play the audio. We ain't gonna worry about the video. We're gonna play the audio. So from this point, from 4 minutes, and we'll just play it from 4 minutes, they're gonna talk about how everything that's being put into everyday society, that the governments want to get you gradually forced into the system and how everything accelerated from Trump coming into office with Doge and everything. Let's play it.
Know what that is, but I've been screaming, like, it feels like from the rooftops about this for the past several years. It's the centennial vision for the UN to build an artificial intelligence world society where they say that, all human government will be supplanted by AI government. And they're well underway in their plans. They're in partnership with Boston Global Forum. So right here in America, they're teaming up with the UN for this plan. And there is this narrative that it's like out there, it's the boogeyman. And of course, we have not gotten out of the UN for all the rhetoric claiming that we would. But here, it looks like now we're just handing it over to Silicon Valley and we're building the TechNade right here at home. So we need people to be aware of what's going on, because I know people keep talking about like communism and fascism, but meanwhile, those are here already. It's technocracy that's going to take over.
This is the critical point. I mean, we don't live in a democracy. We don't even really live in a constitutional republic, right? What we do, we are living in a technocracy or an oligarchy or whatever. There's different names for it. But Patrick, to your point, I think the most important thing to open up this show with is the idea that this is not theoretical and this is not some distant warning in the future, that the Trump administration is deliberately putting steps in place actively that is rolling out this plan right now. So
want to pause there. Chief Ephraim and everybody out there who think like Ezekiel 12 say this will fall off. It ain't happening. This is not nothing that's a fall off. It's happening now in your face, with your current president in real life time as you living and getting on Instagram and all this is happening in your face and you don't see it.
Patrick, could you please speak to the things that have already been put in place right under our noses?
Now check this out. So now they're going to start talking about things because Mike asked them, let us know some things that's already been put in place right under our noses that we ain't catch. And see, these are things the prophets talk about, start from the apostles, the elders, and the bishops on down. The other camps wait for the event to take place. What's some things that already happened so you can know and look at it as it's happening from here on out?
Right.
Wow. Well, it started
constitutional republic, right? What we do, we are living in a technocracy or an oligarchy or whatever. There's different names for it. But Patrick, to your point, I think the most important thing to open up this show with is the idea that this is not theoretical and this is not some distant warning in the future, that the Trump administration is deliberately putting steps in place actively that is rolling out this plan right now. So Patrick, could you please speak to the things that have already been put in place right under our noses?
Wow. Well, it started with the inauguration of the president, for one thing, that has to happen. But as soon as the ink was dry, all of a sudden, Doge swept into Washington, D.C., and took over all of the agencies, the important agencies in Washington, D.C., not to save money, not to increase efficiency. Their purpose was to free the data from all the silos in Washington, D.C., putting them into the cloud so that they can be accumulated by companies like Palantir, the mass surveillance company. That's Peter Thiel, by the way. So that was the first step. Doge has gone away since. However, the teams that were, the Doge teams that were put into all these agencies, there was at least 4 people on every team, and it included a high-level tech guy and a lawyer and a human resources person, et cetera. These teams were organized in a way that they would persist even if Doge went away. Now, Doge has been abandoned as a name at this point, but the teams are still there. And the whole purpose in the first place was to free the data, put it in the cloud, accumulate it. We've never had this in the American history. There's never been, well, let me put it this way. Those silos of data were siloed on purpose in the first place. They're supposed to be separate, for Pete's sake. Now it's all in one big bundle of wax, if you will, and it can be analyzed by AI programs like Palantir. This is very, very disturbing for sure. Then over time, President Trump has signed a number of executive orders to support the notion that AI is now going to be the centerpiece of American policy. And I probably...
You got some other types of power?
Not yet.
Okay.
You good.
So so what he said was that when Doge came in, the first thing that they did was getting Palantir with Peter Thiel put in place. Oh, this is a quick thing I want to tell you. This other types of power I forgot. So me and my boss was, and I'm gonna tell you, when I mentioned Peter Thiel to him, he looked at me like, what, like, how you know about Peter Thiel? But I mentioned Peter Thiel to him, and his mind was blown. Like, how you know? But anyway, we'll talk. But it was funny. But anyway, the first thing Esau did it with the American government is getting Palantir involved, which is mass surveillance. That's what the military used. And remember, Palantir and other tech giants had people put as generals, I believe, in the U.S. military, because that's where it's going now. That was the first step of all things, mass surveillance. Now everything else from here on out, they feeding you is to get you involved in that system, in the system, man. It's like I'm getting a little excited, but it's here. That's why it's so interesting. It's here.
Yes, sir.
Stop at this point and let Courtney chirp in rather, and
sure.
This I want to emphasize. Nobody saw this coming at all before the election. This was not a question of broken promises. This is a question of open betrayal against the American people. And I'm not just talking about MAGA. I'm talking all Americans are being betrayed at this point. And
let me jump in here on that theme of betrayal, because I think that's the only accurate way to describe it. Not only has Trump, he's welcomed into the Oval Office some of the executives of companies that I consider to be the worst mass murderers on the planet, that is pharmaceutical companies. But then he brings in all the top big tech people who ran the censorship, who ran the deplatforming, who ran the COVID pandemic push. These are also people who are complicit in the worst crimes against the American people, crimes that, according to many analysts, have killed at least 1.5 million Americans. And this whole plan of using big tech and big pharma and big government has now been put into the stratosphere by the Trump administration. So Courtney, with that as context, take it from there. What would you say?
There's a lot to say there, but I absolutely agree. Yeah. I think, as both of you said, a lot of people thought that Make America Great Again was going to be something like maybe a restoration of the Constitution, maybe get closer to returning to founding principles.
Remember that she said everybody thought Making America Great Again was going to bring it back to, the prosperous America, the founding fathers and the principles. Nope, you've been duped. It's taking you into a digital prison. And you know what's so funny? The prophets, man, this is why me and Elder Tyler Powell was talking before the lesson. They saying this now. See, people starting to realize it now. The day Trump got sworn in, man, you had the Elder Karatazar in Vegas. He did the lesson, I believe, on overhead Trump. How they did the inauguration overhead with the paintings, and Elder Yashawamba, he did his lesson, and the apostles did their lesson, and the elders did their lessons, calling it out, saying, "No, look." Oh, and I can't forget the Elder Ariala and the Elder Require Kwame in the UK with the World War III algorithms. They went into detail. Man. On the day Trump got sworn in and signed and all that, they went into it saying this is the beginning of a technocracy. The point is, the prophets said that literally the day it was going on. Not everybody else saying it as they seeing it play out. Come on, man. That's why I'm so excited, because man, Tyler Powell was talking when they started saying all this, they saying it now. We said it, and elders said it the day of, before it could even play out. That's to show you that's the spirit of the Lord, man. Trump was put in office to dupe you people to take you to the CBDC system, which is gonna lead to the MOTB being mandated, man. That's what she talking about. You got some other types of part? I'll continue playing it.
Oh, I'm good. Go ahead, bro.
Kind of salaki, you know, but you know.
There. What would you say?
Yeah, there's a lot to say there, but
Yeah,
I
for sure.
absolutely agree. Yeah. I think, you know, as both of you said, a lot of people thought that Make America Great Again was going to be something like maybe a restoration of the Constitution, maybe get closer to returning to founding principles, you know, restore some power to popular sovereignty. And instead, it looks like what he did was hand the keys over Silicon Valley. And I think, you know, as I was saying before, there was all this talk about how we were going to get out of the UN. We were going to fight this globalism. But instead, he's really building the technate here. And when you talk about the companies that he's handing over this power to, what was one of the first things he did was this Operation Stargate.
She's talking about Trump. For those you know who might not know, she's talking about Trump. When he got in office, everything he did, he brought in the technocrats.
Which, by the way, I don't think is a coincidence when you think about the name Stargate. I do think it was a nod to the CIA Operation Stargate. And what were they doing? You know, they were doing all sorts of remote viewing kind of experiments. And this was right around that time when they released that Stanford Research Institute, manuscript on changing images of man, changing the man's consciousness, man's perception of himself. And where did they say it would all go? They basically said that, you know, perennialism was going to be the new religion, essentially the one world religion. And they talk about, they didn't use the term AI back then, but they were essentially saying it would be like this AI type God. They didn't use the word AI, but that's where they said that it was all steering. So it looks like we're just seeing an extension of that. And of course, we had all these narratives, like we were going to fight the CBDCs. And instead, he basically did CBDCs under the name of Congress-backed digital currency instead of, central-backed digital currency. And now he's backdoored it. He's basically, put the CBDC back on the table anyway.
Through the banks like JP Morgan, they're going to be able to launch their own coins backed by U.S. Treasury debt.
That's right.
Which is worthless as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. So we do have a chapter on how the whole regulatory infrastructure that he set up that we think is going to be leading towards tokenization. And, you know, we just heard him talk about 6G, which he doesn't seem to really understand.
Here you go at the Tazapa. I think they said they're speaking on 6G, as you always talk about. Right. 6G going to take them to the next level in their system.
Understand what 6G actually does, but 6G makes that tokenization where that remote interface, remote human technological interface and control becomes really feasible, which is really terrifying. So,
the Internet of Things, wearables, everything monitored on you. Now,
that's right.
We talked about that last week. You know, the computer brain interface. You know, she said remote to brain interface. I forget how she worded it, but it's the same thing. And what she's saying is 6i makes all of that feasible. It makes it possible. All right, that's what she's saying. So, right, you're gonna see 6G roll out, and I'm just now connecting this dot. People get sick. All right, so this might be behind this flu stuff. But whenever you put something like that out, all right, we wasn't made to absorb these type of frequencies. And what they do is overwhelm your cells and make your cells toxic. Toxic cells create viruses. And all that is the cell detoxing itself. Because that's the beauty of the human body. It's intelligent design. It didn't just happen. All right, just like the universe didn't just happen. It's intelligent design. But right, you had a lot of people saying, "Oh, 5G is causing the the COVID," and it was something to that. It was a little bit of everything because they did put the stuff out there. But they rolled out the 5G at the same time. So, whenever you get exposed to new type of frequencies like that, your body reacts. So that could be a thing. But yeah, they got to have this 6G. 5G was, just to, it kind of for a test run, because where they want to go, as I explained last week, 6G jumps into the terahertz. All right. 5G deal with gigahertz. So they jumping from giga to tera. That's major. All right. So you're talking about from billions of hertz to trillions of hertz. That's bombarding your cells, trillions of cycles per second. Yeah, man, we're not made for this. It's another reason why the scriptures say it won't be no flesh left to be saved.
Right.
This man is fucking out of his mind.
Radiation.
But yeah, the 6G is coming. It's gonna run on the 5G infrastructure. So the infrastructure is already here. They just got to bump it up. All right. They don't have to build new infrastructure. And I'd like to speak on this. Everything is prepared. All right. Everything is ready to go. They've been tweaking and putting the finishing touches on this MOTB infrastructure. All right. But the mark itself been here and been ready. All right. But what they needed to do is what they had to prepare for. And they needed to track and trace you every second of the day. And to be able to store all that data so they could have it at any point in time to pull up. Because this devil, we all know this devil love to go back and accuse you of shit. So he had all this data on hand. And I want to speak to what the brother, the Edomite, what appears to be an Edomite, was saying. Doge went in to free up the data just to send it up to the cloud or upload it to the cloud. All right. So I'm going to go here. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. All right. And we see that. We see that in real time. All right. We're living proof of that. I came from being public school, publicly educated, all right, in the public school system, to be a scholar. All right, that was the doing of the Most High and the Holy Spirit, because we in the time of knowledge being increased. So knowledge for this, this cyber age where they want to go is data. And they already know we in this information age, whoever controls the data is king. All right. Here's the Salakia. This is a base definition for data out of Webster Merriam. And it says factual information or part of speech here is, damn, it don't even say. That's weird. Okay. Now, Salakia. So part of speech, now. All right. So for data, factual information, such as measurements or statistics, used as a basis for reasoning, discussion, or calculation. All right. And in Esau's case, for control, blackmail, and other nefarious things. All right. But right. So this is we in the information age of data and all of this. And so Esau got to get ahead of this. Because he, being the devil that he is, he's not going to give up his power and control and just, accept his judgment gracefully. No, he's looking to continue his rule. All right. But this is building to this third woe. All right. We need him to buck up. We need him to resist. All right. Because if I make it up out of here, my rod of iron gonna need some use. You know? So yeah, I want them to, you know, continue this mindset of being the man and being proud and you big and bad. Keep that persona going. All right. Just like they, you know, you couldn't wait for the buck to buck up. Well, anyway, yeah, brother, we in this information age. All right. And so they looking for AI to be able to manage and deal with all of this information and have you, you know, have you condemned before you even, you know, did anything pre-crime. But you got it, brother. Go ahead.
Now that's it. That's it. And two, because I'm about to skip up a little bit. We're about to play a few excerpts from the video. But Baba Gashai, anybody who been tuning in or just tuned in, the articles and videos will be in the description box. But go back and listen to this video. They gave out so much information. I'll give a quick recap because the next few parts we'll just kind of skip on here. But they talked about how when Trump got in office, that accelerated the digital CBDC or MOTB system. He put Doge in place, you know, with Elon Musk and the other tech giants. And the first thing they did is set up Palantir for mass surveillance. Now they forcing everybody with AI and ChatGPT and the different uses. You taking pictures and you got an AI picture of yourself on Instagram, right? All that is going into making a digital system. And it's crazy because, man, I want to play so much of this video, but we're not, because we'll be all day. It's an hour long. But go back and listen to this video. You might have to listen to it a few times. But everything they pushing out now, like the AI generated ads and AI generated pictures, you asking ChatGPT everything, even myself. I was telling other times about earlier, I was, you know, working on some things outside. You know, should I ask ChatGPT take a picture? Hey, what should I do with this? You know, boom, this is what's going on. And they give me a whole, not just that to give me an answer, but to give you a whole description, right? They want people to get involved.
Exactly.
Even if they said this, you got
exactly.
it.
No, you good. Go ahead. Brother.
Even if they said this, even with social media, and it's all in this lesson. I mean, this video, they said this, even on social media, like on X or formerly known as Twitter or Instagram, and they let people give their point of view. That's why they got comment boards. That's why they got these things so they can get.
Yeah, they was sucking it all up, brother.
Mm-hmm.
The AI was sucking it all up. But go ahead.
That's exact. And it was saying this, like everything Esau been doing. That's why this lesson is titled. It's all a part of the plan. We at one time thought, oh, this Instagram is my little page. You know, even going back to Tom. Tom, you ain't nobody forget about you, Tom. The MySpace Tom. It started with Tom. You know, with MySpace, you put on your face and taking pictures and all this. You putting yourself on this database. Now Esau can create you again. And now what he wanted to do, that's why they got comment boards. That's why they got interactions. That's why they let online dissidents happen, because they want to get real human interaction so they can get all that on a cloud and now have man, it's wild. It's like it's, come on, man.
That cloud is the devil.
Hey, what's the scripture? His heart is deep.
Okay. That's in Psalm.
I got it. This no, that's not it. If a brother know what that's at, his heart is deep.
Let me see. I think 64.
Yep, I got you. Yep, the water. This Psalms chapter 64. And I'm gonna start at 2. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, to the chief musician, a psalm. And we're gonna play a little bit more of this video, but go watch all this on your own. It says, to, you know, if you got time, to the chief musician, Psalm 64:1, a psalm of David. It says, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer, and preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And the world we coming into, a lot of people gonna fear what Esau and the government's about to do.
Man, come on.
It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. What we talking about is secret counsel. You know why? Everybody in the world, everybody in America, everybody in your family don't know about this. We
don't know.
That they don't know. We tapping into things that Esau talking about on his round table. And I'm gonna say this. The real experts, yeah, we play these people on the Glenn Beck lookalike, and we play these people. The real experts, and I'm gonna stand on this. The real experts in the earth are the apostles, the bishops, and the elders. And the reason I say that is because, again, everything these people talking about on this very video right here for an hour long, they saying this now, years after Trump was put in office. The day Trump, when Trump was put in office, I don't know, but the day Trump was put in office, had his inauguration, man, you had the Elder Ariala specifically, who I remember, the Elder Required Kwam, the Apostle Tahar. They was going into detailed videos, the Elder Karate Zion Vegas, detailed videos on how this very event or that very event was setting up a digital system. The tech giants coming in, Larry Ellison, they was going into that very day and week. Now the world's starting to realize what's going on and speaking on it. Your real experts are the people who told you the day it happened. I'm going to stand on it, because that's why I'm so excited, because everything that we have been told is playing out, man. Y'all out there as believers should be excited and really, really thankful that Yahweh Basham Shai led us to the right people. We could have been following Chief Ephraim and saying, well, Iran definitely ain't doing it. China ain't doing it. We could be saying that the MOTB is sin, and you think it with your head, and you do the action with your hand. No. No.
Right.
No. See, the logic. No, man. No.
Not at all.
I gotta finish. Not at all. Not on duty. It says Psalm 64:2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. It says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. It's the point. Verse 6. They search out iniquities. There's Esau. They accomplish a diligent search. And this is the thing they were saying in this video. Esau really getting how the Heavenly Father is. Like I said, 2 Thessalonians 2. He want to be the Heavenly Father. The Heavenly Father know man's mind. He know why men do things. He just know it. Esau tapping into that right now. And matter of fact, they said on this that even AI robots is taking it to the next level. Now Esau got AI robots in the earth that got real human skin and they can sweat.
Yeah, and that's gonna be next.
And they can sweat.
Going back to the Georgia Guidestones, that's how they gonna maintain humanity under 500 million. They gonna have everybody fucking robots. Pardon my French.
That's it.
That's where this is going.
That's it. And if I may add on top of Pop, and one thing this dude gonna say, and I got the timestamp, I think I got it, and we can play it. I'm gonna finish playing it. One thing he gonna say, and it reminded me of Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter.
But look too, hold that thought. This is the fucking the purpose of the gender war shit. At least among here in America.
Yep. Men
hate women, women hate men. So what's the next step? Robots. This is horrible, bro. This is a horrible existence, but I know you had a thought. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. Damn. I had so what he gonna say is wisdom and indirectly he said it. But in Wisdom of Solomon 2, Esau pretty much said, let's live out how we want to live, enslave these people, and we're gonna chill.
Yep.
He gonna say that's the plan of these people. They want to put chips in the brain. He gonna say that, and I hope I got the right timestamp. He said they want to put chips in your mind, but he was against it. He was like, I hope they don't think they can just put chips in people's brain and we just sit around stupid while they, sit on their ASSs, and rule the world. And it hit me. That's Esau real plan. You know why? And I like to say this: what type of king is you? If you and your empire, your world, your kingdom, and you gotta hide that you're the king. Right. Think about that. When we rule, everybody gonna know Yahweh Shai as the man. He the king. Everybody gonna know King David the man. He the king. Everybody gonna know the 144,000 men, or should I say 143,999 after King David, right? Because he was a prophet. Everybody gonna know those men is the kings, them men on earth. We ain't gonna have to hide. Why in
Right.
Esau world, the Rothschilds, this your world, this a white man's, this the Edomite's world. You ruling, you got to say so. Why is it that you got secret societies, right? You gotta be called the Illuminati. You know, you gotta hide. You know why? Because they know they're doing wickedness. This is the point though.
He the flip of us.
Yup.
Go ahead.
But this is the point. So in Esau's mind, he thinking, because I know he tired of being in the shadows. You know, Esau, he want to be the man, right? But it hit me that that's the plan with the MOTB. He can get everybody docile to the point he can control them, kill them off by turning off your chip, and at that point he could come out into the world and let the world know he the king, he the man. But in order to do that, he got to get everybody with a C-hip in them so he can control them first. He can't just come out and let the world know he ruling, and people got their own mindset. You know, people got their own feelings and emotions. This Esau real plan on how to do this, in order for him to really come out and show that he ruling the world without having pushback, he got to put digital things in you to control you, so it ain't gonna be no pushback, or he gonna kill you off if you against his agenda. That's really what it is, so he can live comfortably, man. So like it for that long thing, but that was kind of just a thought, you know. That was just a thought.
That was good.
Putting everything together. That's Esau time to come out and say, I'm ruling now, when everybody is docile and he controlling them. Yeah, but it ain't gonna happen though. It ain't gonna happen. So like it, you got it.
No, you mentioned killing them off. Yeah. He gonna kill you off if you don't toe the line, all right, and walk that walk. All right, so this is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And that's going to happen. All right. People that they decline the mark, you know, or whatever, they don't want to be a part of this. Well, that beast in this image gonna say, well, get rid of them. We don't need them. We can't use them. They got to go. All right. And then this is what we coming to. This is what we're trying to get y'all to understand. But first and foremost, you Negroes, Latinos, and you Native Americans ain't been free, all right, since I don't know when. But we definitely are not free now.
Right.
All right. And so Esau getting ready to show you. Just another thing that Great Millstone been trying to get through y'all head that y'all don't want to believe. That we are yet this day in our captivity. But they're getting ready to show you. All right. And you're going to know you in captivity. All right. As they going to tell you what to do. Your life will be micromanaged. All right. And they doing it already. They've been doing it at these jobs with the same computer shit. You used to just clock in to work and they tell you what to do and you do your job. Now you gotta, every job you do, you gotta clock in on that job. You know, so if you building whatever, you building AC units, each unit you gotta clock in on that. So when you finish one unit, you gotta go clock in to the next unit. And what is this doing? Feeding the beast, more data. So this helps them to build this infrastructure to take your job or say, oh, so he could do this many units, this amount of time, you know, and they putting all this data together, but he come in late every Friday or every Monday he late, and they got all this data and they building profiles on us, you know. It ain't how men was meant to live. But you mentioned, the scriptures speak about the children of the day, because you mentioned Esau.
Wiser than the children of the light.
I'm thinking about, Romans 13.
And to it,
But
while you getting
anyway,
that, so like I was about to say, to everybody on the comment board, I just put the video. We're gonna play a little bit more, but I put that video in the chat right now. It's www.brighteon.com. Man, Baba Gashar, watch that video because they say a lot. And you might have to watch it a few times. I watched it 3 times myself to finally understand exactly what they was saying. It may be words, as far as the digital system lingo goes, you might have to look up words, but I had to watch it 3 times myself to actually get what they were saying. But Baba Gashar, please watch that video. They breaking it down, and everything you're gonna see before you from since Trump got in office, especially and forward, is all to lead people to a digital system. But Salaki the Tazapar, Salaki.
yeah. Oh, you can go here. I'm gonna look for this right quick.
Okay, I'm gonna just play a little bit more. So this portion I'm gonna play right here, she gonna say in this video, this from 25 minutes and about 30 seconds, but she gonna talk about how the foundation have been set and you seen it in real time.
As we were saying, it is such a betrayal, and the left hates Trump. It's just, I like to say it's Orange Man bad or Orange Man Jesus. It's like there seems to be very little.
That's funny. Yeah. So true.
Yeah. There's a little in between, So unfortunately, that has the effect of kind of obfuscating what's actually going on. So the left just hates him, and they don't really have for not very good reasons, in my opinion. But the right, a lot of them have been just totally placated. Sorry. They think, okay, Trump's got it. He's playing 10D chess, and he, just trust the plan. And we're
now I just want to stop it so y'all know what she's saying. So she said, first and foremost, this is how things is going. How people getting duped, right? On the left, which is the liberals, the Democrats and niggas and rainbow flag supporters and white people who lost their way. Right? That's what it is. They already hate Trump. They're against him. And now she's saying the way he been doing things, the right, the conservatives, the Republicans, they like, nah, just watch him cook, watch him cook is all gonna work out. He doing this on purpose. He against it. But what you coming to find out? No, both of y'all wrong. Both of y'all. Listen, I'm getting excited.
So true.
Yeah, there's a little in between, So unfortunately, that has the effect of kind of obfuscating what's actually going on. So the left just hates him, and they don't really have for not very good reasons, in my opinion. But the right, a lot of them have been just totally placated. Sorry. They think, okay, Trump's got it. He's playing 10D chess, and he, just trust the plan, and we're all going to be good. And that couldn't be further from the truth, in my opinion. So what we wanted to do was lay out the infrastructure, this technocratic infrastructure that's rolling out in real time with all these executive orders, all of these regulatory bills, and, all of these people and, these things like Doge and what was really behind it. And also to talk about this philosophy, the dark enlightenment, that has been so instrumental and permeated through so much of the Trump administration in Silicon Valley. But so many people just aren't aware. And if you don't know, you can't defeat a threat you don't know exists, right? So,
boom. If you don't know, you just don't know.
Right.
If you don't know, you just don't know, man. You found what you had at Tazapar. Now I jump up a little bit.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead though.
Okay, Khan.
Go ahead.
But what she said, the digital system is being laying out in front of you in real life time, man. You got to pay attention. 28. Let's go to 2805.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we need to cover. I'm sure.
Now check this out. He gonna wax. Old boy gonna wax. From Brighteon. He gonna ask, is it in order to bring this digital system in? What's gonna happen to the dollar? Is it some major that gotta happen? The event that gotta happen? And he gonna liken this until 1970, 1971, when I believe Nixon, he took the gold standard off, and it went just to the little dollar. Now it's gonna go from dollar to digital. It went from gold to dollar. Now it's going from dollar to digital.
There's a chapter in your book. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there's a chapter on, crypto, the whole new crypto approach here. So,
Exactly.
Patrick,
Exactly.
how it seems to me like they're going to have a some kind of big crisis event with the dollar in order to shove people into this new CBDC or whatever they call it ecosystem.
I promise I ain't gonna stop anymore. Well, I'm gonna stop it, but not in this space. Think about what he said. I'm gonna play it back, but think about what he said. There have to be some kind of crisis that's gonna shove. What's another word for shove? Cause. What's another word for cause? Force. What's gonna happen, or what gotta happen that's gonna force these people in one way or another to go digital, whether they want to or not. That's the point. And a couple years ago, I'm sure people in the 70s, 69 going to 70, people ain't want to give up their gold, but they ain't had no choice really. That's the way the system was going to the dollar. Now it's going from dollar to digital. You don't have no choice. Let's play 28 right there.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so we need to cover, I'm sure there's a chapter in your book. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure there's a chapter on, crypto, the whole new crypto approach here. So,
Exactly.
Patrick,
Exactly.
how it seems to me like they're going to have to have some kind of big crisis event with the dollar in order to shove people into this new CBDC or whatever they call it ecosystem. How do you think that's going to go down?
Very badly, I'm afraid, for us especially. But having said that, the reason that Trump put a waiver against the Federal Reserve to stop research on central bank digital currencies is because the tech bros in Washington, people like David Sachs, for instance, the AI czar and the crypto czar, they wanted to create their own parallel economic or system of finance, and it included the payment aspect. The Fed was only concerned with payment tokens, or what they call central bank digital currencies. However, this new system has another side to it. That's the asset tokenization, not the payment tokenization. But now it wraps into that a parallel system based on blockchain of asset tokenization. And this is why, for instance, JP Morgan,
so this is what
Larry
I was saying,
Fink, they say everything in the world will be tokenized at some point. Well, you have to consider this is a new economic system based on tokenization, and the dollar at some point it will be immaterial to this new system.
And can I interject and say that to
Yes.
our audience, if the government were announcing mass registration of guns, everybody would freak out. If they announced mass registration of your gold and silver at home, everybody would freak out. But when they call it tokenization, people get really excited about, yes, I want to report all my stuff onto the tokens controlled by the government. I'm like, people, stop being stupid. It's a mass reporting, government control, centralized system. I mean, isn't it?
And a cybernetic nudging system.
Yes.
It's a gamified society. That's what people really need to understand. It's a gamified society. I mean, it's like the worst of a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I don't want to go through all my ammo boxes, for example, and tokenize all my 9mm and send it to the government.
No.
Never going to happen. There's too many of them anyway.
consider the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, when he was just before the election and before the inauguration, he was on national TV on CNBC and other Squawk Box, I think, talking about the digitization, the asset tokenization of all of the assets of the United States, including the 680 million acres that the federal government owns. It's supposed to be for us, but nevertheless, he's on national TV, Mideastern countries like Qatar, the Saudis, the UAE, to bring trillions of dollars to the United States. You have to ask the question, what's going on here? Something's really off on this whole thing.
Well, let me answer that, and then
that was called
I jumped up, but let me jump up a little bit.
NACs, the natural asset companies. And this was this idea tied to like carbon credits, carbon sequestering, very similar to like what the energy crisis.
Because the question was, remember, because they're still talking, right? And I kind of got my timestamps. Because they still on the question that Mike asked, like, what got to happen for them to put away the dollar and for us to go to this new system? And they still talking about it. But let me skip up just a little bit.
Takes this even further, where it's truly creating a gamified society where they have a complete control, and photosynthesis was in this. I mean, that's what they're right. So, but this is taking it even. I mean, as absurd as that was, and as just horrifying and completely inhumane and antithetical to the natural order of things as that was. This takes this even further, where it's truly creating a gamified society where they have a complete control, and we are kind of locked not just in a digital gulag, but really like almost like a simulation, where they want our food to be completely synthetic, our everything, like a VR kind of a reality, kind of a world, and everything is just a simulacra of reality. But we're going to win little tokens, and then we'll be on as Elon says, a higher basic income. It's not going to be. It's going to be a conditionally based income where if you're a good doobie and you go along with the system, then maybe you'll get a few tokens to play your next round on the game, and if not, yeah.
Well, I jokingly say we already have a UBI, universal basic ignorance. People have no idea what's coming, and I've argued, and I'd like to let's segue to the depopulation question. But I've argued that the ultimate goal in AI, first cognition with software AI, and then labor replacement with AI robots, which is still a few years away. But the ultimate goal is the replacement of billions of human beings, and depopulation is the goal of the globalists. They just, they've abused and exploited human labor and human cognition for, millennia to get us to this point. And they figure, well, we don't need those humans anymore. We've used them up. Let's get rid of them and replace them. Patrick, do you, what are your comments on something like that? Because to a lot of people, that sounds crazy. Like that would never happen. They would never kill us. Okay. All right. Keep believing that.
Curtis Yarvin, the modern author of The Dark Enlightenment philosophy, he has an answer for this. His answer is he wrote this, believe it or not, in 2008. He talked about the humane alternative to genocide. He's talking about, well, if we could just kill them, we would, but that's not morally acceptable, right? So he talks about the alternative to genocide. This is it. The best alternative to genocide I can think of is not to just kill them, that's the wards, but to virtualize them. A virtualized human is a permanent solitary confinement, waxed like a bee larva into a cell, which is sealed except for emergencies. This would drive him insane, except that the cell contains an immersive virtual reality interface, which allows him to experience a rich, fulfilling life in a completely imaginary world.
Well, that's the Matrix. Yeah,
that's the yes, right. Exactly.
Well, and he was the first.
Now I'm gonna say this too, because I did skip the timestamp about when they connected the dollar from going digital, and that was between 28 minutes to 36 minutes. But what he's saying is that Esau the elites think they just gonna have everybody in this digital system and live it up. Now I'm gonna skip up a little bit. We could kind of end it because I did skip the timestamp. Let's play it right here.
With only a chip in their brain, boom. It won't work out for them. And I think most of it. And they say, "Wow, we can do this now. We have new technology. Lead the way." And
it's Job 20. When they think they about to fulfill their belly, that's what he's talking about right here. When the elites think they about to fulfill their belly and get everybody helped and own a digital system, they think they go live it up and show themselves as kings. It ain't gonna happen.
We're gonna go. Well, you see this type of mentality is a con job based on technology that overextends where it's going to go. They didn't get the tower built in the Old Testament for other reasons. God didn't like it, dismantled it for them. But nevertheless, you can see at this point, people are sucked into the futures aspect of technology. And I think most of it's just a big flat lie. It's not, in other words, it's not going to turn out the way they think it's going to turn out. You can put Neuralink all you want in your brain. I guarantee you, nobody's going to be sitting there like this with their eyes closed, surfing the universe with only a chip in their brain. It won't work out for them. But people are buying it.
The other thing is,
and that's prophecy. The chip in their brain that won't work out, and that's what the Lord said. I'm gonna jump to this point. We can end it, Elder Tazapah. I got a precept too. The house scripture. I know you already got it, but watch what he gonna say. He said Esau will turn into a demon pretty much in the end. Why he trying to fulfill this very prophecy of hipping everybody and going digital?
Way they got making lots of money off of us, taxpayer. But when push comes to shove, these people are going to turn into raging demons.
Boom. I'm gonna play it back. When it all boils down, Esau, as he trying to fulfill his plans, they go turn into raging demons. Revelation 12:12. I'm gonna get it real quick. Revelation 12:12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, and woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil," right? Esau, Edom, raging demons, as he said, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath." It says, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Esau know he got a short time. And this man just said Job 20 and Revelation 12 in the same sentence. As he about to fill his belly, he know he got a short time. That's what we see him play out.
If you're willing to open your eyes, you'll understand when you read a book exactly what's going on and how they're perpetrating on us. This is a master scheme. We haven't covered all the topics of the book for sure, but we have a chapter called "The Rise of State Religion," for instance. We have a chapter on the death of capitalism, for instance. We have a chapter on the death of the American Republic. These are fundamental things you have to understand at this point. And these people, these tech oligarchs in Washington D.C., they're smiling now because they have their way. They're making lots of money off of us, taxpayer. But when push comes to shove, these people are going to turn into raging demons that intend to completely decimate our whole country.
yeah.
And we have to be prepared to that. We can't hide our head in the sand at this point and say it doesn't exist. That's my big. That's all. If we only get this point across to people, I would be happy.
Boom. So that it is. You got another Tazapah. That was pretty much everything, though.
No, that was it. Yeah, I just wanted to point out, he mentioned about the tokenization of everything, or she mentioned, I think the lady did, the tokenization of everything, maybe 3 weeks back, a month maybe back. And I, spoke about the chip putting people on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're part of that everything. That's why they speak about an internet of things, an internet of everything. All right, you gonna be tokenized. That's what the chip does. It tokenizes you to allow you to be put into that blockchain to continue to be sold for bond men and bond women. And this is why, Esau, he's an idiot. Now he called it a master plan, but what kind of master plan is it when you feed off of the people? So why would you want to eliminate the people when you feed off of the people?
Right.
This is his existence. He's a literal vampire. And he feeds off of, look, how did he build his empire? Off of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans' blood, sweat, and tears. Still to this very day. All right, they don't give you credit for shit you do. on your job. You come up with a new innovation, a way to save them money, a new way to do something at the job, they take credit for it. All right, this is just who they are. And you mentioned about them ruling, and they got to rule in secrecy. Right, that's their nature. That's, again, who they are. We are the children of the day. They are the flip of us. So if we the children of the day, that makes them the what? Children of the night. And that's what their works are in darkness. Ours are in the light. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, that tokenization, what she's talking about, is just really bringing everything into cyberspace, the new frontier. That's the new frontier. All right, and you heard him just mention the pods. That's coming straight from Noah Yuval Harari. What will we do with all of these unemployed, useless eaters? All right, they're gonna put some of you in pods. If they can continue to suck your energy, they won't need the rituals anymore because they got a direct link into you through that chip and everything else. See, that's why they do the award shows and all that. They got to do rituals to get you to participate. But once you take the chip, that's your participation.
Mm-hmm.
They can just suck off of you at any time. That's what it's about. They can just suck off of you at any time. They don't have to do all these elaborate shows and have the ball games and shit. Give you football, basketball, and all of this. All right. Now you just be in the part and dreaming in the dream state. And well, this is what they want. This ain't gonna come to fruition, but this is what they want. All you gotta do is look at the matrix. But that's all I had. That scripture I was thinking about. That's 2 Thessalonians 5. I know brother had some precepts.
Yeah, he had that second
Logic.
Thessalonians.
I'm sorry, what you say? Oh,
That's
here
it.
we go.
Yeah, he had that
Yeah.
second Thessalonians.
2 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 5. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. All right. And the night is far spent, according to Romans 13 and 11. The night, meaning Esau's time to rule, is far spent. All right. He's the children of darkness. We are the children of the light. All right. That was it, brother. That was it.
Gone. That's it. You can take us out. You got it.
Yeah.
And the notes.
The water to you, Akion, for the precepts, you know. And you see, well, for all y'all, we had a lot of information we wanted to go into, but the water to you all for the precepts. You want to bring that out? What you got right there?
Now that was what you read. The brother just happened to post it, so we good. We good.
Oh no, I read 5 and 5. That's 2 and 5.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, that was 2 Thessalonians 2 and 5.
Yeah, that's 2 and 5. I read.
Now that is all good. Now it's all good. You know.
All right. No, I just saw you had highlighted. I didn't know if you wanted to, but yeah, come. So yes, the water to you all again for joining us on this Thursday watch. We pray that you all was edified. We're gonna give our praises, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, no honors to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone, as well as their teachers, and peace and blessings to the 144,000, as well as the rest of the elect. All right. Till next week, y'all stay up, stay vigilant. All right. Esau trying to pull some fast ones. All right. We got to stay up and stay diligent. And like I was saying, concerning this year of apostasy, sellouts, and agents, all right, 2026 is a year you're going to have to stay ahead of. All right. The example has already been set. Things going to move really, really fast in 2026. So we're gonna have to stay on top of our game. We're gonna have to stay in tune with the Holy Spirit for sure, and stay in tune with the men that the Most High set up on this earth to guide us to salvation. All right. The apostles of Great Millstone.
Right.
And with that, we're gonna bid y'all a shalom. All
Shalom.
right, to the next one, y'all stay up.
Come on, the water for
Shalom.
20 Shalom.